Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Monday Night Live. And it is Valentine's Day, and happy Valentine's Day to everybody. And we have a few people already in, and Angie's in here, Rebecca, Tammy's here, and Kevin had popped in, said he couldn't stay. Early morning for him tomorrow morning, and so he just wanted to say hi. So that was very sweet of him. And thanks, Ann. She says smash that like button. So as you watch now or watch later, I hope you click that thumbs up button for me. And Erica and Monica are going to be up on the live with me tonight, and saying happy Valentine's Day, Sandi, and happy Valentine's to you and Jake and the girls. I watched the cookie video today, and so that was awesome. Teresa's in, and hello, happy Valentine's Day. And Irene from Boston. Hello, cool. Now I'm going to pull up Eric and Monica, and they are from Bland's Promised Land Ranch. And I was actually on a live with them, and it was great fun. And so I'm totally excited about them coming up. And so I am going to bring them up to the live stream. I'm going to switch it. Oh, there, I can see you better. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to you.
I even got my red on for today.
It
was mainly because I was cold.
I'm actually going to change my background because it's very busy. Not the hearts, but the background that's around the rest of it. So I don't want it to be distracting. And
it's cool though.
Let me put a little something, maybe a little more subtle.
Ooh, very pretty. I like it.
Very pastel-y. And
spring.
Happy Valentine's Day to you too.
Thank you.
I hope you had some fun romantic things for today. And
I did. I did some very romantic things. I went to work.
Oh.
That's about it. That's about as romantic as it got.
I did buy him chocolate though. I got him some Reese's peanut butter eggs because nothing says Happy Valentine's Day like Easter candy, and so
can't go wrong with peanut butter.
That is awesome. There's a few more people that just popped in, so I just wanted to say hi. Ann from Andel Homestead.
Hey.
Jeannie is here. She's saying Happy Valentine's Day. Oh, look at there. Love Monica and Eric. Yay.
We love you.
And Madeline, how are you?
Hello.
See, everybody's just saying hi. I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
So, did the kids do anything for you for Valentine's Day?
They did. They started to clean their bedroom, and that is a very lovely gift.
That is always awesome.
Honestly, it's so funny because after 3 birthdays in a row at our house, by the time we get one day break, and then it's Valentine's Day. My kids typically, unless Valentine's Day is on a Sunday and we go to church and they say, it's Valentine's Day, let's make something for your mom or dad. My kids don't do anything for Valentine's Day unless when they were really little, we would like make fun things and, like make stuff for Eric and he'd come home and it'd be Valentine's Day cards or something fun. But yeah, even when I pay off your son to destroy your plants, yes, Andale, they're still doing good things. But no, so they were told they had to clean their room today. So they actually did a bunch of things today without being asked more than once. So I say that's a win-win. That's a good Valentine's Day for me. So, yeah, after 3 birthdays in a row, it's usually by the time Valentine's Day comes, we're all like on a sugar high. So we're over it. We're like, love you guys. Happy Valentine's Day. We're done.
Now, Robert's in here from Homestead Aquarius. Do you know Homestead Aquarius?
Yeah, we've seen him before.
Okay, awesome. And he says, I'm single and suffering today through.
Oh,
that's so sad.
But I didn't have to buy anything, so there's that. That's true.
That's right.
Didn't buy anything for anybody.
Yeah, you always got to look on the bright side of things, right?
Yeah, look on the bright side.
Yeah, Robert at Homestead Aquarius, he is one of the guys for Shed Wars, and so that's always great fun. And Henry and Irene, Brainstorm Acres. They are in Arizona. We have met them. We've had dinner with them before.
Nice.
Great couple. And they have greenhouses and they're off grid. It's a really interesting channel.
That's
so,
cool.
Check it out. And Tina Ladybug is in. And
Now
they are saying hi to you guys too.
Yeah. Now we've actually met Tina Ladybug and Frenchie, little Frenchie. We've met
Jake and Ann and Tina. Yep, we've met them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. See, because Texas, you know.
Yeah. You know.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So I was looking over your channel, but I've watched your videos for a long time, you know, and it says that you are just under 50,000 views.
Yeah, we're so close to that little milestone there.
Close. So I say everybody needs to go over and watch a few videos to make you go over there.
We'll take it.
That'd be cool. Yeah, we're so close. We're less than 500 views away from that 50,000 mark.
That's a big milestone.
Yeah. Well, I'm like literally 5 people away from 800 followers on Instagram. And I've been watching it slowly during the week. And I'm like, come on, 5 people. But it's cool because I keep watching it. And I get one and then somebody leaves me. And then I get another and then someone leaves me. And I'm like, man. But it's always fun to see those new milestones. And you're like, yes. So
it is. It's exciting.
And it is.
I think that, you know, you're at 765 subscribers.
Yeah.
Pretty soon it's going to be way over 1,000. You know, we'll
just go slow and steady. We'll just slow and steady wins the race. I'm cool with that.
161 videos. And, you know, I love playlists. I love them. You know, when I get to meet a new YouTube channel, you know, new creator, the first thing I go to is playlists because it gives me this overall view of what a channel's all about. And I like that. I like it that I can go, you know, because you may not be interested in this part, but there's these other playlists and it's like, oh yeah, that's just for me. That's what I want to be looking at.
And I like it too.
You guys have great playlists, you know, from cooking to gardening to animals and just all kinds of stuff. And it was like, oh yeah, it always makes me know that they're striving to help the viewers when they have playlists, because you know, and it doesn't take long for us to do it. Mm-hmm. But I just really appreciate it.
Well, I actually, you know, I think that's one of the unique things about us, because it's just, our channel is about us as a family. So obviously there are certain things that each of us do. You know, we have so many different animals and different things we do with, you know, being on the farm, you know, what life looks like for us. It's kind of interesting because it has a little bit of everything for everybody. Mm-hmm. And, you know, what we found actually, what brings a lot of viewership to our channel, new folks that we haven't really met outside of doing lives like this. This is awesome. And thank you for doing this with us. But one of the analytics tell us that our newer viewers all come from the shorts. And so I always try to find creative ways to put things up, and that helps boost our viewership a lot. And I actually did a video today. It's kind of funny. I didn't get a chance to talk to Monica a lot today, but there's some shorts that I put up that I'm like, this thing's going to blow up because this is just the stupidest thing anyone could do. and you get 120 views on it, you know. And then the other thing where it was like it was a fail of a tool that my dad helped me build, or, you know, he helped build it for our fixing fences. We got over 14,000 views on it. And it's like, you know, go figure that one out.
I know you can't figure it out. It's just so interesting, but people like shorts.
Yeah.
You know, they're quick, they're fast, and they can be really interesting, or they can be just really stupid, and you still watch them. And
Yep.
You know, and sometimes you watch one of those shorts and you go, oh my gosh, and it has 1 million views, and it's like, what?
Well, we haven't hit the 1 million view mark yet, but we're waiting for that one. No, I actually want the video we put up today. So we usually try to put up a short like at the beginning of the week, and then later in the week we put a full length video of something that we're trying to teach. And so today's video that we dropped was some drone footage that I got with a bird that actually came in and swooped down on my drone. And anybody that knows me knows that I like to crash my drone. So I got full panic mode when I saw that bird swoop right in front of me. Now, the cool thing was that I had the camera rolling the whole time. And that one right there, I was like, this one's going to go. This one's going to get a couple thousand views, no problem. And I think I was sitting at like 40 or 50 earlier today. And I'm like, come on, what is wrong?
Yeah, but you might wake up in the morning and have thousands of views.
Maybe. I like that one though. That was one.
That's a good one.
Sandi, have you ever had a video that you put together and you're like, this video is just awesome. I'm so glad I did it. Everything turned out perfect. And then it's like only you and your friends are the ones that liked it.
Yeah, I think everybody has that kind of stuff.
Probably everybody does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's another couple, Healthy Homestead Chick and His Way Homestead. They just came in here.
They are both Doug and Shelly.
Yeah.
My great friends. I just love them to death. We always say that we wish we were neighbors.
She's really encouraging to watch. I don't check in with her often, but I scroll through sometimes and watch a couple of her videos and I'm like, really need to get out. I need to get healthier. I need to work out more. And then I'm like, yeah, I'll walk later. But she's really like, I do watch, but I've like watched her and I'm like, right on. And then I'm like, yeah, I need to go do something else. But
that's like the Reels video. Have you seen the Reels or Sandi? Sandi, do you watch the Reels on Instagram?
Yeah.
The one where it's the music and it has a caption. It's like, this is me trying to walk to healthiness or something. But it's like a begrudging type, they're putting their cap on and their sweatshirt on, and they're like stomping through the snow because they're trying to be healthy, but they're angry about it at the same time.
Well, I like to walk.
Do you?
Doug says that it takes a day or two for shorts to hit the short shelf.
Yeah, so, that's true.
So
you never know.
You never know. Yeah, it's always interesting, on what really hits the short shelf and how they decide. It's just like sometimes you think it's just total random. You just don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely trying to be more attentive to how we title things, and it's kind of like the one short that we put up was about what did we title it? Bullfighting or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we titled it bullfighting, but it was basically it was a steer that was really upset with a bull that was being dropped off on his pasture. And I don't know. Do you know the difference between a bull and a steer?
I would guess one can have babies and one can't.
There you go. So one is full of testosterone and one is not. But you wouldn't have known the way that they were going at it. So it was two big longhorns that I was actually helping deliver to a friend of ours, and it was a lot of muscle going back and forth. That's for sure.
Dangerous.
Yeah. But people love that one. And I don't know if it was a title or what drew people's attention.
I do most of the titles at like 11:30, 12:30 at night. And I'm like just typing it in there. I'm like, yep, I'm going to get to sleep in a second. So let me just type this in real quick so I can go lay in bed.
Wait a minute. So you're not taking a lot of time to think about it?
I am taking a lot of time to think about these things.
I'm not buying that. We're learning a lot tonight on Valentine's Day.
No, here's a tip from Doug from you. Use a tool or app to help increase your SEO score on your videos.
Yes, we do that actually. I'm the one that has the app on my phone for that. So I do follow those things. I do have some of that, but I'm still doing it like at midnight, trying to put it in all the stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, it looks good to me. But the good thing is if I kind of have some tricks in my head, I kind of know what I wanted to say. So as long as I can watch the video first, I think I'm golden. So
Sandi, I think tonight would be a good time for us to talk about procrastination.
Not on Valentine's Day. We don't talk about procrastination.
My apologies. Can we come back tomorrow and continue this conversation?
You see Celtic roots? Deja vu.
That's awesome. Okay, so one of the questions I have for you. When you first started YouTube, I'm always interested in why people name their channels the way they name their channels. And so, because it intrigues me, it's promised land. So I figured there's got to be good stories that you could share.
Well, yeah. So the ranch that we live on, it's called the Promised Land. And that is a play on words from the Bible when the Hebrews were taken to the Promised Land. So when we were originally in Maryland, we were at a place where we felt like this was where the Lord was leading us, somewhere in the South, somewhere in Texas. We just weren't sure what part of Texas to be in. And when the Lord opened that door, we just happened to be, I was studying through the book of Joshua, and, it just kind of came to me. It was like, this is the promised land that the Lord has for us as a family. And so before we even got here, we already knew what the ranch was going to be called. And a lot of what we do, we always try to point back to all of our faith and all of our trust, which is in the Lord. So that's why it's a play on words of the promised land. And so we do use that opportunity to share with people, who we are and the faith that we have in the Lord.
Awesome. That's awesome. I knew there was good stories that you could share.
Well, that's the version that I can share with you here, because we don't have all night. But it's a whole testament as to how we got here and why we got here. And unfortunately, we had to go with Bland's Promised Land because just Promised Land Ranch was already taken. So
yeah, Promised Land is the name of a commercial dairy. Yes. So we went with Bland's Promised Land Ranch. And so we put a name, we put our sign up, we got ourselves a brand, we do all that because we knew raising animals, we want to have a brand for our animals so that when the kids are upstairs. I just heard that thump. We have a brand so we can brand our cattle because it's super important to do that here. And so we did PLR and then we did the Promised Land Ranch, but we put Bland's in front of everything so that way it's ours. We know it's ours. So.
Right. Yeah, and you want it to be yours. So it's always important. Now, you guys have a lot of kids, and people that might be in the chat might not know about your kids. This might be the first time they've ever seen you, and I don't know how much you want to share about your kids, but if you'd like to share, because they're in your videos, they're growing, they're blooming actually.
Yeah. Well, if you go to our intro video, I put that up the other day. Yeah, I put it up the other day. And so, sorry, he asked me to do something the other day and I followed through with it. So he's just really excited right now that I did something I was supposed to do. But if you look at our intro video, you'll see all of our kids in there. When we moved here in 2014, our oldest was 14 and our youngest of the 7 kids we had at the time was only 4 months old. So we moved across country with 7 kids and a dog. Oldest 14 and the youngest 4 months. And so when we got here, we still had one more kid to have. God said, you're not finished yet. You can have one more. And so right now we have our oldest is 22 and they kind of go down every 2 years or so from that. And they go all the way down to almost 6. So they're all turning even numbers this year. So our oldest got married last year and we have a beautiful daughter-in-law. So now I have 9 kids. I tagged her in that. So, but yeah, so I have 7 boys and 1 girl and now a new daughter-in-law. So I'm just going to start accumulating the girls because I know you're opposite, Sandi, right? You have a bunch of girls.
Yes. Well, for a long time, there was only 1 boy, but now, with the total, we have 4 and 3. So, it's, but I remember when Stephen was young and one time he says, do you know what it's like living in a house full of girls?
Yeah.
Well, I remember when I'm one of 4 boys, and I remember my mom, because my dad worked some really weird shift work, pretty much my whole life that I remember. And sometimes my mom would just get so upset, she'd start crying, and then she'd even look at the dog and say, even the dog's a boy. I can't get any girl help around here.
Yeah, I definitely think it was a blessing when Eric and I got married when I was only 18 because she didn't go that long without having a girl, at least, because I came right up in there and fit right in, I think, with the crew. But my daughter wanted so badly for a little sister. And when she was 4 is when I had her first brother, or your first younger brother, because I got a puppy. So we have babies every 2 years. And so I have the 2000, 2002, 2004, and then I got a puppy in 2006. We thought we were finished. And then in 2008, 10, 12, 14, and 16. We just kept going. But when we first had that first boy after her, she was so upset. And then when we went to have another boy, she was like, oh my gosh, I can't win for trying. And then when we were having our sixth baby, the third one below her, she was like, surely I will get a sister at this point. And even then it was, I mean, she was like devastated when she found out it was a boy. I remember the one time she ran out of the room crying, and then her younger brother, right at the time, the one that was right below her, he just ran out of the room and cried with her. He was so upset for her that she was crying. He didn't understand why she was crying, but it was because there was another boy on the way. And so I think by the time we were having my youngest, Ezekiel, who was quite a bit younger than her, she was like, you know, my dad was talking to her the one day and she's like, I don't even care. I don't want a little sister now. There's nothing. Just keep having the boys and it's fine. We can just do a sister. Cause I mean, it's not like we're not going to be like BFFs because we're so far apart at this point. It's not the same. It'd have been different if she had a sister that was 2 or 3 years younger. But at this point, she's like, I give up. I'm done. I'm like 12, mom. Sorry. Sorry. So
she'll have to fix that herself.
Yeah, she'll just have to. She has the little cousin. Yeah, we're done. But she has a cousin who is a little bit younger, so not too bad. But yeah, we have a fun time with all the kids.
Awesome. Doug wanted to know what part of Maryland.
So we lived about 12 and a half miles southeast of Baltimore City.
Yep, a small little town called Pasadena, Maryland.
Because Doug is originally from Maryland.
Yeah, I just saw that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so I'm sure he knows every place in Maryland. It's not that big a state, and
yeah, it's definitely not that big of a state. And we grew up there. Like we grew up there our whole lives. So we lived there, 35 years, and then time to move far, far away.
Sandi, this is a really neat story about the pair of us. So we met each other in high school. We didn't know each other at all prior to, and so when she first started coming over my house to hang out or whatever, she started talking with my mom and found out that her family was from the same general area. And so, and so she started telling my mom, her dad's name and, what year he graduated from high school. Come to find out, they graduated the same year in high school.
From the same high school.
From the same high school. And then on top, so they didn't know each other in high school, but they, how, if you know somebody that goes to the same school, the same teachers. So then my mom actually met my dad at the military base there. It's called Fort Meade. And so my dad worked on the base. Well, when my mom and her dad graduated high school, they also worked on the base, which is where mom and dad met. Wow. And so dad and her dad were very familiar with like the same places of eating and drinking. And
never met each other, but they basically had crossed paths for years. They had crossed paths as very young men and never knew each other, never met each other prior to all of us. But and even his mom and my dad, they never even knew each other in high school. They were with different circles and they just graduated the same year and the same exact high school class and everything, but never knew each other. Same yearbook. It's kind of cool though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when they did like
interesting.
Yeah. And so, where she grew up, she was about 5 minutes from where I grew up. Yet we still never saw or met each other until high school.
Until my senior year. Or no, my junior year. When we met each other when he was a senior. So
yeah. And one other little funny thing I see right there, Grace and Fire just stated it was a God thing.
Very much.
And it's the funny thing is that when I first saw her, the first thing that went through my mind was, I'm going to marry that girl.
I was like 16 years old. You were not thinking you were going to marry me.
Well, you were looking fine at 16. And I was under 18, so it was okay for me to say that.
Oh my goodness. So it looks like somebody else used to live in Columbia, Maryland, and then Severn. We used to go to church in Severn. And then it looks like Doug used to live in Boonesboro.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty cool.
And how far is Boonesboro from where you guys are? Where you grew up?
That probably would have been like an hour and a half, maybe. Probably.
Well, the good thing is that we could say hour and a half to 2 hours anywhere in Maryland. We would probably be there.
Well, because Baltimore's kind of like in the center of the, it's like right there in Inner Harbor. It's in the center. We only live like right below Baltimore City. I mean, he worked right in Baltimore City, and it didn't take him more than 25 minutes to get to work. So we were super close. So yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Just went over.
Oh, thank
Jeannie
you.
went over and subscribed to you.
You.
Yes. That's what
Yeah.
we want.
Yeah. We're on Yogi Hollow Farms lives too. We were actually there on Friday celebrating her 1,000 subscribers. She's a really good friend. She's amazing. We love her.
Isn't she? I love her too.
She's
And
fantastic.
in fact, you, Lisa, and you and your other group are around the hay bale.
Yeah.
So you got Casey and Alicia. And how's that going?
Well, first of all, I want to say I wasn't invited. So
No, you weren't invited.
wow.
You're busy. You're busy at work. You have the other job. See, she would drive from Severn to Owen Mills. Oh, there you go. Yep. Work at Bankers Mercy. Yep. Oh, geez. That's not good. That went down here fast. I was excited. I'm like, yay. Oh no, never mind. There you go. But yeah, no, yeah, that's going great. We actually are finishing up our first season next week, and we're gonna have Nikki from 5 Dog Farm on. She's a really sweet lady. She does a lot of Instagram stuff. And she's a really awesome lady. And so we're gonna be finishing up our first season of Round the Hay Bale next Monday. And then after that, we're going to play reruns for the end of February and all through March. We're going to actually, on the end of February, very last day of February, I think the 27th or 28th, we are going to be playing all of our like favorites. So we're going to do a favorite show where he's going to put on all the different clips of some of our favorites throughout the season so far.
Fun.
And yeah, so it's going to be fun. And then March is going to just be reruns of us. And then starting in April, we are going to be doing teasers on Monday, and we're actually going to be pre-recording for the entire month of March. We're pre-recording all the episodes for season 2, and season 2 is going to be released only on podcast. So we're not going to be on for an hour live. We're going to give a 5-minute teaser maybe of our actual podcast episode for that week. And the only way to hear the whole thing is to go listen and download it on podcast.
Well, how fun.
Yeah, we figure we're going to save some of the viewer time because, people are on a lot of lives. And it's really hard. I mean, look, I take the people. So a lot of times I'll listen to Alicia, a country mama, or some other people. I'll even listen to you. I was listening to you in my pocket. I'll have my sweater on. I go out to my garden, and I'm standing in the garden with Peter, my pig, who's 250 pounds, and he's walking around, and I'm just standing out there trying to just decompress. And I'm listening to one of your lives the other day, and you were in my pocket, but I have to keep it open to YouTube so I can hear.
Right.
Because if I don't keep my phone open. So I had you in my pocket, and I was just listening to your live, and I would rather download podcasts sometimes if I'm in my garden. So now people don't have to be on all these lives all the week. They can download the podcast and listen to it anytime they want. And they don't have to about looking at a screen. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to try something new. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But we'll see if it works. We'll see what the Lord wants.
Well, a lot of people love podcasts because you just put your earbuds in, you can do all your other stuff, and you get all the information. And because time's really precious.
It is.
And it can be overwhelming. In fact, I'm kind of switching up some things. I started talking to my members today about some of the switching up because I was, you don't think when you're retired and you're old, you should have any stress in your life. Well, you do. And
there's a lot. YouTube puts there's just a lot going on. And you have 3 channels. And so even if you're retired, you still have gardening. You still are a wife. You're still a mom. You still have all these other things that you have in your life, not just YouTube. So there's a lot of things. Even when you're retired, there's a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. And you wonder, how do you work? If you're this busy now, how could you have ever worked? Well, people just do it,
Yeah.
And so I got a little something for you, Monica.
Ooh.
I hope you can see it. It's one of my necklaces I made. I'm
Oh,
going to
it's
send it
so
to
pretty.
you.
Oh,
It's made out of dichroic.
that's so cool.
And so I'll put it in the mail tomorrow for you.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet. Thank you.
Valentine's Day.
I love it. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to wear it. Yay. Thank you.
It's very durable. And on my necklaces, I do these leather cords, and they're adjustable, so you can, depending on what you wear, you just adjust it with the cord. And so I'm going to send it out.
Yay. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so excited.
Now I feel horrible.
You should.
I got her nothing. Everybody has given her something. I have given her nothing.
That's true.
Joe and I don't do presents. And in fact, I gave him a card, and he goes, I didn't get you a card. We never do cards. I said I was buying cards, and so it's, I just saw that one. I thought, oh, I'll get Joe a card. And
you know what? I was buying candy for the kids, and I knew I wanted to buy something for all the kids and Eric. So I just got candy for everybody because, I can't leave him out if I'm getting candy for everybody.
That's
so,
right.
Everybody got candy today. That's all that mattered. And I will admit, I did eat one of those Reese's eggs, and it was delicious. So thank you, Eric, for one of your Reese's eggs.
That was my gift to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So sweet.
I got you, baby.
Joe loves Reese's peanut butter cups, though, too.
Yeah. There's something magical, though, about those Reese eggs because they're longer. They have more peanut butter in them. It's just, they're special. So, and again, there's nothing like Easter candy for Valentine's Day because it's already out.
That's right.
And the downside right now is the good candy at the 7-Elevens or whatever, because of the food shortages. All they got in 7-Eleven is all the garbage stuff that nobody wants to eat.
Yeah, they have all the old stuff that people haven't bought in 2 years.
It's like the whatchamacallits.
Hey, what's
the candy bar? Remember the candy bar Zero?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody buys them.
No, there's full boxes there. They got those. They don't have nothing good as peanut butter though.
Well, you can't go wrong with peanut butter, so
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so what kind of fun things are you gonna have up on your channel soon? Any big plans? Anything this spring?
Yeah.
How's did you start planting your seeds yet? Did you plant?
So I've got my seeds. My seeds started. And then we've had some mishaps where we had the bunny ate the seeds.
There's Andale right there, by the way.
Andale, yeah, she said. I blame Andale in some of my videos. I say she paid off my son because the 12-year-old dropped an entire tray of seed starts. They were this cute. They were so little and cute. And I was like, oh, I love them. I would pet them because I had heard from a lady too. She said that if you have starts, especially tomatoes, she said, when they get big enough, they're really good. She said, even if you have a little fan, if you can't take them outside, put a little fan on them. Let them have a little movement. So she said, if you can't do that, just run your hands across them. I'm like, I got this. So I was petting my seed starts. I was all petting them. It was all cute. And then my son was like, whoops. And he just dropped the whole tray on the ground. I was like, so then, cool, not a big deal. I replanted them seeds. They came back stronger than ever. And then the bunny jumped out and decided to eat a whole bottom rack of seeds. He's in his little playpen, my little black bunny that was in the playpen. He jumped out of the playpen at night, ate off the whole tops of them. And they were even this big. I mean, they were big. They were strong. They were ready to be put somewhere else. No, it's just, so I've had a couple knockdowns, but I'm still in it. And they're coming back and some of them are doing really well. And I happened to get some more garden seeds today from MI Gardener. I got in the mail today.
Cool.
So I'm really excited to put some other stuff in the ground. I thought about you because I ordered jicama seeds. Have you ever had jicama?
Mm-mm. But I have heard of it.
So it's like a potato substitute, if you will. It's almost like a watercress. It's kind of crunchy like a watercress. Anyway, I don't even know if you can grow it in Texas, but I thought about it and I was like, Sandi says I can grow whatever I want, no matter where I am.
That's right.
I'm going to grow what I want. All I could think about is you saying, there's microclimates all in your yard, Monica. Figure it out. If you want to grow it, grow it. And I was like, boom, I got this. So I bought jicama seeds and I don't even know if it's going to grow, but I'm going to try.
Well, you might be so surprised and it just grows fabulously.
Yeah. I don't even know how it grows. I'm pretty sure it's a root, but I don't know. I have to do some research.
Woman, what are you buying?
It was $2 for a package of seeds.
That's not how it works.
It does. It's going to be good. I'm excited. Look, Celtic Root said, Jay said, exchange cards while you're still standing in the store. It works so much better.
Okay, here's Doug's suggestion. Take a picture of the cards and text them. You never have to buy a card again. We'll just go to the store. We'll take pictures inside and
Yeah.
out, and we'll send them to our kids, our parents.
Well, that's usually it's just me sending some random meme or something like, hey guys, have a happy day. It's going to be a good one. I sent my kids, happy birthday text now that they're old enough. I'm like, happy birthday. Love you.
Well, my kids love text messages. They'd rather have that than, I guess they're busy, I mean, I do talk to them on the phone too, but much more text messages than anything.
Yeah.
But
it gets there quicker too.
They do. And,
Yeah.
You don't have to call on the phone and you're waiting. Let's leave a message.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, Eric, if you could say one thing about Monica, what would it be? It could be funny. It could be something we don't know. It could be, it could be scary. And
Sandy, I feel like you're setting me up here. Right? Since it's Valentine's Day, I'll be nice.
Thank you.
It has to just be one thing.
Oh my gosh.
Nope. You got the floor. It could be lots of things.
We only have so much time though.
This is where I can make up for not getting anything. Hey, if anybody's out there that can text me like a picture of a card, I'd really appreciate it.
Get out of here. Oh
No,
my
I
gosh.
mean, I'm never ashamed to tell anybody that this is the woman of my life. I mean, she's beautiful on the inside and out. She is certainly a giver. She is somebody who wants to always take care of everybody, even at the expense of running herself into the ground. So, I think that the balance for me is to try to help her not do that, because she will. She'll definitely dump herself out completely for everybody else. But she's a hard worker. She'll do anything for you. Just ask. And which is why she usually gets in trouble, because people know that if they ask, she won't say no.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah. But she's I say this in a joking manner. It's the truth, but it's like I don't know, it's a stupid term.
Truth joke.
No, it's like I said today, I called her up and I had to tell her something. I was like, I'm only telling you this because you're my ride or die.
You did say that. I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, I just felt like being dumb. But anyway, no, I mean, she is my partner in crime, 100%.
We don't do crime though, so it's good.
It's a saying.
No, we
People
don't
say things like that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, Monica, your turn.
Oh.
What could you say about Eric? Funny.
Let's see.
Anything
Well,
you like?
beyond the fact that everybody that if you watch our lives, you know that Eric is 100% super organized. He's very much a diva. He needs his face powdered before every live.
I thought we
his
were
light.
wait.
No. I can do whatever I want. His light.
No,
He has to have his nose powdered before the light hits it.
I
His
take
light
it
has
back.
to be on just right. Like this has to be a certain color. Everything's gonna be set up perfectly. But I will say that that's like one of my favorite things, because he is so organized that he helps keep me in check, because I'm sloppy. I am a messy person. That I'm not dirty. I'm just a messy person. Like I don't mind putting something down. I'm clean. I showered. I don't mind putting something down and then just coming back for it. If you ask me where something is, I can tell you where something is. Eric's new t-shirt design just felt like being dumb. I can tell you where something is. I just need to think about it for a second, and it may not be where it belongs, but I know where it is, because that's just me. So I know it drives him absolutely 100% crazy, but I appreciate the fact that he tries to keep me in check. And he's been working for a really long time, because we'll be married 25 years this year. And he's been working for a long time to try to make me fit into a box. But I've realized that I've completely busted the sides out of that box, and he's okay with it. And so for the most part, I think that's my favorite thing about him, is he's willing to blow the sides out on the box that he thought that I belonged in, and he just accepts me for who I am.
I just got a bigger box.
But he's so kind. He works his butt off, and that's the thing too. He works so hard for our kids and our family, so that I don't have to stress over working, so that I can do the fun things. I have a direct sales business and I love it. I absolutely love it. And when I put my whole heart into it, it's just such a fun thing for me. But he's told me before, you don't have to do this. If you think that you have to do this because you want to make money or you think that that's what I'm expecting, please don't. He's always said that. You don't have to go to work. This is my thing. This is my responsibility. It's my job to take care of this family in this way. Your job is to come alongside me and have fun doing it. So I appreciate that so much about him because, he's been doing that for 25 years. And
I don't think I ever said just come along and have fun.
yeah, you have.
Is that what you got out of that message?
That's what I've been getting out of that message for 25 years. So I'm just saying. He worked 3 jobs to pay for our wedding. Our parents didn't help us pay for our wedding. My mom and dad told me I was too young to get married. And so he worked 3 jobs while I was in college, and he busted his butt to help pay for that, to basically pay for our wedding. His parents gifted us a honeymoon, and my mom helped with some invitations, and my dad bought me a dress. And that reception was several thousands of dollars back in 1997. And this man busted his butt so we could do it and make it beautiful. And he would do that every single day over again for me. I know it every single time. Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would.
Well, Eric, now you're the envy of every woman on this live chat. And everybody that's going to watch it later, they're going to go, why can't I find a man like that?
Yes, Doug, he said it while he powdered his nose. It'll make sure.
Well, you've heard the saying, opposites attract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to catch me powdering my nose.
This is it right here. This is about as opposite as it can get. But yeah.
You know what I love is that, can you hear it echo now? Okay. Is that Eric looks at you and he goes, I just got a bigger box. That is, I think sometimes that could be the best advice that anybody could give a husband to a wife, because wives, we have all this energy and imagination, all this stuff. And, my husband, Joe, he's so quiet. And I mean, he's really funny, but he is quiet. And I sometimes think, how does he even stand me? I'm just like, so many things to do. And I thought of him when you said, I got a bigger box. And I thought, Joe, how many times has he gotten a bigger box?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It's true though. I mean, like when we first got married, we learned together, we grew up together because we've been married so long. And when we first got married, I was just telling my daughter-in-law the other day, I said, one of the things I hope I've taught my children is that there are so many ways to do the same thing. There's one way to Christ. There's only one way to heaven, but there are so many other things in life that you can do different ways. And those things are what you kind of come together and blend. And so I hope that I taught my son, and she said, oh, you have. And I said, I hope he understands that just because we always made a cake this way, doesn't mean you're going to stir it the same way. You're not going to do those things the same way, but that's where you come together and you learn how to make it better together. And I said, that's something that I think because we were young and we came from completely different lifestyles in the sense of my parents had just divorced. His parents had been together and, he had all brothers and I had a sister and a brother and just different things. And he learned very quickly that I didn't do things the way his mom did it. I was different. And I think that he said that right away. He said, I get it. You don't do the same things the same way, and that's okay. And I think that when we learned that together, that was a helpful thing. And I made sure I tried to teach my kids that there's always more than one way to do something. And they can see that when we do things, because even when it's cooking or something, they can see that dad definitely does it differently than mom does. And I hope that my kids take away that sense of being able to change and adapt to the person that God has for them.
Right. And saying it this way, different doesn't mean I'm wrong, just different. And exactly. That's okay. And it's so interesting that God has given us so many possibilities and so many different things that we can do. Mm-hmm. But then he's very narrow in the aspect of Christ.
Yep.
And so, I think that we have to embrace both things, that narrow mm-hmm. walk and all the great possibilities that he has for us. It's just amazing every single day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it is.
yeah, Joe and I just switched churches in the last month, and we had been
Oh,
going to the same church down here for last year and this year, and there was just some stuff, and things happen, and so we stayed for a long time, and then all of a sudden, it was just like this release, and it was like, now I'm ready for you to go over here.
mhm.
And it was just, not that it was right or wrong on, you know, either one of those places, but it was just, and this church is so big, and I'm so used to a little tiny church, but it has been amazing, and I just thought, that's just God, he
Yep.
can just take all those different possibilities in our lives, and he just put you right where you're supposed to be,
It's true.
and you two, all these crisscrossing, parents
Mhm.
crisscrossing, and then all of a sudden it was right now.
Yep.
And you guys both embraced it, and now 25 years later, it's Valentine's and you're celebrating.
Yep, there you go.
And I still haven't learned to get a stupid card.
No,
Well,
just take a picture. And
I feel like the epitome of our relationship. I say I should have realized how fun this marriage was going to be when we started dating. We were obviously, I was a senior in high school. He was graduated a year. And he made his box into a robot. See right there. And we dated, and then he broke up with me. He said, I feel like you're more like my sister than you are my
Why are you
girlfriend.
telling people my business?
Yeah. And I was like, wait, you don't have a sister? And he was like, yeah, I'm not really feeling it. I'm like, okay, well, can we still be friends? Because I cared more about his friendship than I did if I couldn't date him. I was like, well, if I can't date you, at least I can still be friends with you, because I absolutely adored this guy. And I knew that like I just needed to be around him. And so we were friends for a little bit. He made sure he broke up with me before Valentine's Day. So we were friends still through February and through March. And on April 1st, April Fool's Day, April 1st, he leans into the car where I'm at. I'm getting ready to leave. We were at a friend's house together. He leans into the edge of the car and he says, hey, want to be my girlfriend again? I was like, are you for real? It's April Fool's Day. What am I supposed to think? He's like, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't, yes. Like, I was so confused. I didn't know if it was a joke. I didn't know if I was going to wake up. He's like April Fool's. Like, I had no idea. I should have realized at that point, this is how our life was going to go. Like a whole bunch of just April Fool's nonsense the whole time. But I mean, I guess it worked out because he never said anything after that we weren't dating. So that was pretty good. And then in July, he asked me to marry him. So I feel like we did a pretty good job. I mean, he must have been for real. So. But literally for days, I didn't know if we were actually dating or not. I was like, are we actually dating? And my friends were like, are you guys dating again? I'm like, I think so. I mean, he asked me to be his girlfriend again. So I guess we're dating. But it was April Fool's. So I don't know if it was a joke or if it wasn't. Was it midnight when he asked me? I don't remember. I was a little nervous, but hey, he hasn't turned back. So I'm good.
Grace and Fire says, I would have said, ask me tomorrow.
I wasn't taking a chance. I'm like, this dude already said I was like a sister before. I'm not taking a chance of losing him now. Go with it and keep my fingers crossed all the way home. I drove home like this. Please let that be right. Please let him be truthful.
That's a good one. I like that.
I was nervous.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history. It is what it is. Oh, they're still talking about their boxes being in forts and
and robots. It's awesome.
The box comment was supposed to be serious. These guys aren't taking it serious. This is like marital counseling over here.
Oh my gosh.
That is so funny.
Oh my gosh.
We're almost at an hour. And I thought we should probably give one little necklace away. I know I gave a whole bunch of stuff away last week, so they'd have it on today. And I got a whole bunch of emails that said, the boxes came today. So I was totally excited about that. But I thought maybe you guys could pick a number, and then everybody can comment, and whoever picks a number first would be our winner?
99.
You can't.
Well, you can't tell them.
You can't tell them what the number is.
It was the first one that puts it in the chat. It's quick fingers tonight.
That is not how it works.
Okay, so maybe do a number between 1 and 25.
Okay.
So you got me?
Wait, you got the number?
I got the number.
You just got a chance.
Okay,
to talk
fine. You get the
for
number.
The past 25 minutes.
You get the number.
What
got the
number?
number. Yeah.
Well, they have to guess first, right?
Yeah.
They do. Okay, so everybody
got a number
right now, between 1 and 25, and as soon as you see the number pop up, you let me know, and that will be our winner. And you guys can guess as many times as you want. So just guess.
Me?
No, them. You already know the number.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Guess. I'll see who's guessing it. I'm watching down on my phone chat too.
Guys,
What happens if nobody guesses it? Can I give
them? They're gonna guess it. You don't need to give them a hint. No hint.
It's only they'll get it. It's between 1 and 25.
Yeah, it's only 25 numbers. Oh, they still haven't gotten it though. Oh, Grace and Fire got it. Grace and Fire guessed it. It was 24, which is our wedding anniversary day.
Okay. Grace and Fire, I need a physical address. So if you email that to me, that would be awesome. And I will mail that out with Monica's necklace.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
We're
going to be twinsies.
Sandi, I'm just going to give you a heads up. I'm totally going to intercept that package and put my name on it.
He's going to say it's from me.
And I want to say Happy Thanksgiving. I mean,
Happy Thanksgiving.
No. Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and maybe you can take a picture of a card and
I can just hold my phone up to her while she opens my package.
That's right. Yeah.
He'll be like, I had Sandi send that to you from me.
Yeah. I'm going to put a note in there and say it's from Eric. Honey,
we're pretend like this never happened tonight.
Yeah, just forget about it. And look at this.
Goodness. Oh, yeah, he picked Jay. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Jay guessed 807. He said I was so close too.
So close.
Yeah, there's Leanne. Happy Thanksgiving. Eric really likes November. That's his birthday month, and he thinks everybody should celebrate his birthday month all the time.
Let's do it.
It's logical.
No.
Okay. Any other big plans in the garden? I know you got your little starts going, and this is going to be the year that the starts make it to the garden. And
I'm hoping,
right?
I am hoping. I am really excited. I am hoping that all of my plants will be starts from my own seeds, we'll say, or from the seeds that I bought anyway. Now, next year, my goal is to have like 80% of the seeds that I put in my garden to be collected from myself, like my own.
Right.
But this year, I'm just trying to get at least 80% of my garden to be my own starts, that I put them in, I planted them and I started them, put them in. I'm hoping I don't have to buy any starts from the store, from the big box store, for my ag extension. The only thing I have bought this year were onion sets because I've never grown onions from seed. And I did really well with the onion sets. So I was like, oh, shoot, I'm going to buy these onion sets while I know I can do it. So that'll be my one thing that's not done from seed this year. So we'll see.
And do you, the sets that you're talking about, just a little bulb onions?
Yeah. Yeah. They come in like the bunches of them. They sell them by the bunch. I mean, I had like a bunch like this big and I bought 4 bunches and I think they were like $3.50 for a bunch of onions. And
are they live starts, or does it just have the bulb?
No, it's like the whole thing. It's like the live starts. I mean, they're just sitting in a paper bag still right now. I'm getting ready to put them into the garden because I tilled up the area. Well, my son tilled it, and then it didn't look like he did a daggone thing. So I went back through and retilled it. I was trying to convince Peter the pig to come help me, but he didn't want to come over there because he thought it was electrified. So he just stood on the outside watching me just sweat the other day, hand twisting that little twister thing to till it up. But that's where I'm putting my onions, right behind my greenhouse, and this one area just designated just to them. So I'm going to try to get it in the ground tomorrow because we're going to have some rain come through Thursday morning. Awesome. So I'm thinking that'll be a good time and I'm going to cover them with straw or some hay, because last year I did that. I don't know what made me think of doing it, but I kind of did it so that they wouldn't get messed with. And it worked. So I'm going to just try that again.
Do you get them from Dixondale Farms in Texas?
I don't know. Actually, no, I got them from my feed store, my local feed store that's like right down the street. But I don't know. I think she got them from some other place. But it was like she had like a big wagon, and she was like, got our seeds, got our onions and our potatoes in. And I was like, going for the onions, because it was like kind of cold out, and you could see that she had brought them in, and some of them had like mold on the outside of them. I'm like, oh, I don't want those. So I kind of like picked through all the sets. I got them, and they were a little bit cool to touch, but now they're like completely dry, and they're in my paper bag, and they're ready to go out there. So they're still alive. They look good. Just need to get them outside.
Yeah, I always buy my onions from Texas. That's why I'm asking.
Nice.
And I always buy them from Dixondale Farms, and a bunch of us order together, because the more bundles you buy, the cheaper it gets. And so we always buy a whole bunch of them, and so you get so many.
It could be where she gets them from. I don't know, but I definitely know I have 2 bunches of the red onions, because I like the red onions. I think they're kind of cool. And I planted a bunch of yellow and white onions last year that I got from another feed store. And there happened to be like 3 red onions in there. And when I cut them open last year, when I finally had, harvested all my onions, I was like, I have 3 red onions. Well, I cut them open, and they were like the best tasting red onions. I was so impressed. I'm like, okay, now I need to go back and get these again. So I'm hoping that these red onions are similar. I don't know. I don't know what kind they were. I should have taken better notes. I didn't honestly think they were going to survive. I was like, I'm going to put them in the ground and see what happens, because I've never grown onions. And then they survived, and I was just floored. I was so excited. I didn't even care what kind they were. I was just happy that they lasted.
Okay, now do you ever do the trick that you push the soil away from the onion when it starts to bulb up?
Kind of. I didn't know it was a thing, but when I saw them starting to bulb up I knew that if they started to die back, that's when you were supposed to pull them. But my soil kind of dips down, and I was afraid it was going to be too moist when they started to get bigger. So I kind of inadvertently just went around and pulled the dirt away from the tops of them, just so that it didn't get moist on the top. I was afraid that if there was mud covering the top, it would sink down and make it wet. So I kind of just went around and pulled the dirt away from the top. I didn't know. Is that a thing you're supposed to do?
Oh, yeah. If you want the really big onions, you just keep moving that soil away from it. And you can use a spoon, you can use a little trowel, whatever, your finger, whatever. And so eventually when they're ready to harvest, they're basically sitting on top of the soil other than the roots. And you get softball sized onions.
So I kind of was doing that, not on purpose, but because it had become very moist in the ground where they were planted. And I was so afraid that the more moisture that sat around them, the more mud, if it collected mud, because they were growing through May. And I'm like, oh, I'm a little nervous that it's too damp. I need to pull them. And the people were like, don't pull them yet. And I'm like, oh, I need to pull them. And so I just kind of went out and just kept moving that mud away from them. I didn't want it to be wet around them. And so I kind of just did it by accident. I didn't know what I was doing. I just was hoping that I wasn't destroying them.
Yeah. I have done that for years and years and years. And I mean, you just get big honking onions. And it's like, oh yeah, I like this.
Well, I'm so excited. I'm going to try that. I am definitely going to try that. Because I also, when I do, see, there you go. I always plant them too deep. See, I didn't plant them too deep last year either. I had learned from a friend. She was like, don't put them in the ground deep. Just barely put them in there. She said, actually just lay them down and kind of just foof some dirt over top. And I'm like, what? But I was told by a gardener before, when I first moved here, an older gentleman was in the ag store, and I was like, I don't know. I can never grow lettuce. And he was like, what do you do? And I said, well, I make a row and I drop the lettuce in and I cover them. He's like, no, don't do that. Not here. He said, just take the lettuce and just sprinkle it and then just shush the dirt over a little, like just shush, just do like this. And I'm like, he's like, no, just shush it over. And I was like, okay. And it worked. And I was so excited that year. I was like, I got lettuce. So that's the only time I've done anything, but I sowed it directly in the ground. Like I can do beans and lettuce. That's the only thing I've directly sowed anything and had success. So yeah, onions were exciting last year. So yay, I did it right.
Yeah, I love growing onions. and I always grow way too many and I always have to give a whole bunch of them away, but I don't care because I love it. Because you're out in the garden and they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's like, oh yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
I'm really excited. We go through a lot of onions here. We eat onions all the time. And so I'm really excited to see if I can grow enough onions to at least last us for quite a while. Because like if I can keep my family for majority of the time that we're storing, majority of the winter, it makes me feel like I've been successful, Because I think what did we have that we just finally dug into? Like we just finally finished off our pork and we have pork coming in the next like week or so. So it makes me feel good to know that we've taken our limits right up to our next processing date.
Right.
And so we do the same thing for our vegetables and stuff. If I can get my canned goods or my vegetables up to the next section of time I'm growing, it makes me happy.
Yeah. And if you check out that Dixondale Farms,
I am.
Texas, they'll tell you how long specific onions will store for.
Okay.
So I always get the really long storing, and it'll usually tell us like 6 months it'll store. But almost always I will have enough till the next summer.
Nice.
And once in a while you get one that starts to get soft, so you cook that right away. But if you keep it in that cool, dry place, man, they will last you. And they're, onions are cheap in the store, but they don't taste as good as when you grow them.
It's true. And I think that's with our green beans too. That's our big thing for this year, I will say. Eric's not real happy about it. Look at his face. But it's our green bean year. I do every other year for green beans. And this is my year for green beans. And we still probably have at least 24 jars put up in his mom's house. Like
I think that's more than enough.
No, 24 is not going to get us. A couple years ago, we did 80 quart jars. I think the year before that, we did like 60. So we do every other year for our family, and that will last us for a while. So this year is bean year, and I am looking forward to it because as much as I don't even love to eat green beans, they're not like my favorite vegetable. I love growing them and picking them, and they're backbreakers, but they're so cool because they just feel so rewarding to watch your green beans grow.
I know, and they're so fast.
I know. I love it.
We need to let the little short kids do all the picking.
We'll see. If my rows are big enough. We'll see. I love to grow green beans. It's just so much fun. Carmen, you can come to my house and pick some green beans with us. I'll grow extra for you. She said, I need to grow more green beans. She can come in here. You can come get some from us.
This is true what they're saying. Don't store your onions and your potatoes close together. Not, your apples, apples can do a lot of different things because the ethylene gas that it produces. So you have to be careful. But like back home, when we do our potatoes, I get great big plastic garbage cans and I put layer potatoes, straw, and all the way up into the garbage cans. And I do the largest ones on the bottom and they get the smaller ones as we go to the top. And it works perfect. And,
nice.
We just set it in our garage, even though it freezes in our garage. But with all that straw insulation, they're just totally fine.
That's awesome.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because you said somewhere like cool and dry.
Texas.
We're in Texas. So the cool part is out the window. That being over in Arizona, there's no cool place over there either.
That's right. What about, do you guys have, are there root cellars by where you live?
No, I think because of the elevation, we're only like a couple hundred or 150 feet. It's something like 100, 150 feet above sea level. So,
your water table is way high then.
Yeah. Yeah. And most people don't do that down here because there's a lot of shifting grounds.
There's like no basements here. So weird. People don't have basements here. I'm like, why don't you have a basement? This is Tornado Alley, people. Put a basement in. No.
Yeah, there's not very many basements in Yuma, Arizona either. But the water table, part of like where my mom and dad's house, when you can dig 16 feet down and the water will start to come up.
Wow.
Which is so weird because it's all sandy loam soil, and 16 feet down you have water. But that's why those trees can survive though. If they can get their roots down to that. There's nothing stopping them,
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, we don't have root cellars here. We just kind of make do with what we've got. I've been able to store them. Actually, last year it was such a mild summer. At some points I was able to I stored my onions outside for a very long time. I just left them in my barn and they just stayed there. And I think all of them, I only lost a handful last year. So I was really happy with that because after my son got married, I'm like, I don't feel like doing nothing with nothing out there. Just leave it in the barn. And so I left them out in the barn. I was sending my 10-year-old out to the barn to get onions. I'm like, go get some onions out of that stall in the barn. They were like, what? It's like, just go get them. You'll see them. They're hanging out in the barn. It worked. Probably not the best place to store them in Texas. I don't think I'll get away with it this year, but we'll see.
I see that Charmaine Martinez had made a comment just below where you have that one pulled up. No, down here.
You can create. You have to create the cool.
You have to create the cool, and that's one of the things that we're working on this year is trying to find a way. Because of we sell a lot of beef and pork and things like that, so we have to keep a lot of freezers running. And so this year we're trying to calculate what we need to do a full solar power supply for all of our freezers. And
I have a lot of freezers.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I have a lot of freezers. I'm down a freezer actually, so I probably need a replacement freezer probably at some point this year, but we'll leave that one as it is.
Have you seen when they take old freezers, they bury them in the ground, they put straw around the outside, they put a drainage hole in there, and then they store their stuff in there and then cover it with piles of straw or dirt?
Yeah, we actually have an old freezer that he was just talking about using it for something because I was like, we do have a stand-up freezer and we need to get rid of. And he's like, well, it actually might be useful for something. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. I mean, I like the idea of reusing things. So if you can't fix it, because he's an HVAC guy anyway, so he knows HVAC, he knows cooling and all that. So if he can't fix it, we can use it for something else. Go for it.
Look who's in the.
Hello, Casey. Yeah. Yeah, she's up late. You're up late, Casey.
One of your other cohorts in crime.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. But I'm going to let you go. We're past an hour. And I know it's Valentine's Day, so I don't want you to stay up too late, everybody across the country. And I so appreciate it. I'm going to send you that necklace tomorrow.
Thank you so much. I love it. It's so pretty.
And Grace and Fire, I'll send you this one tomorrow too. So I hope you enjoy it. And thanks for being on the live tonight. It's always so fun to talk to you guys.
Thank you so much for letting us come over here and hang out with you. I'm so excited. I hope you can you hear all the thumping upstairs?
Once in a while, a little bit. Not much.
They're like, I don't even know what they're doing. They're probably playing basketball. They're supposed to be cleaning their room. And there's 5 boys ages 13 and under upstairs right now. So they're either going to get in big trouble when we're done, or they're just going to have grace and they're just going to be sent to bed. We'll see. Because they're just like thumping. So,
well, I got a lot of anger to take out because I didn't get the stupid card or flowers or chocolates. I had nothing.
You're fine. It's okay. It's okay. You bought me these earrings earlier this year. Did you see that?
I bought them?
You bought them. Isn't that nice? I have heart earrings. See?
Cute.
He bought them. He didn't know. He bought them for me.
See, this gets back to what she said earlier about just coming along and having fun.
Yeah, I just go along for the ride. Thank you so much for having us. Really, really. We do appreciate it. You're awesome. And it was really cool that we could come and see and visit with you on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. And everybody that's over in the chat, if you have not subscribed to Monica and Eric, please go over there and subscribe to them. In my description, I'll have their links in there. And I hope you have a great week this week. It started out with Valentine's Day. It should be a good week for everybody. And I find you guys a total inspiration. So go over, check them out. Make sure you subscribe. You will love them to death because they are exactly like this on their videos.
We try to be as normal, or well, not normal, I guess. We try to be as real as possible. So this is usually what you get. What you see is what you get all the time. So,
but I so appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna stop the live, but then stay on. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thanks so much for stopping in.